Welcome to BibleTelling, Story of the Week. We're continuing on with our series about King Saul. Last week we saw that he was anointed king, but still the people didn't respect him that way. Well, this story this week takes care of that. It has an unusual title, An Eye for Peace. Enjoy the story. Come back afterwards. We'll talk a little bit more about it. After Saul had been made king and all the ceremony was over, he went back to his hometown. God moved on some fighting men to go with him. But others laughed at the thought that he would be their king. They showed their disgust by refusing to give him a gift. Saul ignored this and just went back working on the family farm. About that same time, the Ammonites attacked a city of Israel. The people sent a message out to the Ammonite king saying, we're willing to surrender to you. What are your terms? The king says, these are my terms. I'm going to use you to insult all of Israel. Therefore, to surrender you, I will gouge out the right eye of everyone who lives in your city. Oh, the people sent a message back to the king and said, we will submit to your terms, but first allow us 7 days. We'll use that time to send a message to all of Israel and see if anybody will come and fight for us. The Ammonite king agreed. So the people of that city sent a message to all of the other cities of Israel. It came to the hometown of Saul. When the people heard these terms, they moaned and cried. Saul came in from a day's work with his 2 oxen. He saw everyone crying and he said, why is everyone crying? Oh, they told him what the Ammonite king had said to the city. This caused Saul to become furious. The Spirit of God took over his spirit. He turned and killed his own oxen. He then cut them into pieces and sent it to every city in Israel with this message. Look at this piece of meat. This is what your ox will look like if you don't come and follow Samuel and Saul into battle. There are no exceptions. As soon as the people of Israel got this message, the fear of the Lord came upon them. 330,000 men went to follow Saul. Saul sent a message to the city saying, we'll be there tomorrow. The people of the city were overjoyed. They sent out a message to the king of the Ammonites saying, we'll come out to you tomorrow and you can do whatever you want to with us. The army of Saul marched through the night, got there before sunrise, and they attacked the camp of the Ammonites. They continued to kill Ammonites all morning long and into the afternoon, almost eliminating just a few got away. It was a great victory. The people went to Samuel and said, who are those men that mocked our king? Give us their names and we will kill them. Saul said, no, you'll not kill them. This is a day of rejoicing because the Lord has given us victory. Samuel says, I have a better idea. Let's all once again gather and make Saul our king. So the people came together, and with joy, they once again made Saul king of Israel. An eye for peace. The name of that city is Jabesh Gilead. The Ammonites, when they came to conquer it, part of the settlement for peace would be that all the city would have their right eye gouged out. There were several reasons for those particular terms. One of which, of course, they stated to be an insult to all of Israel. But in a more practical way, when a soldier went to battle and he had a shield, he often held the shield up that kind of covered the left eye, so they really fought with the right eye. Gouging out the right eye made this city useless as far as battle is concerned. But this whole thing about insulting the rest of the nation, the king knew that if nobody came to defend this city with such cruel terms, that meant that it was true. The rest of the nation was weak and easily conquered. They would just go from city to city, conquering them, having victory. They were on the northeast of Israel. The Philistines were on the southwest, so they had them between the two. And the Ammonites knew that they could just conquer this if no one came. Well, the 7 days, that was not unusual to give them 7 days. The siege would take a lot longer than that. And in fact, if they surrendered, there would be no Ammonites that would die. Besides, the king wanted them to tell everybody else in Israel to see what the response would be. In his eyes, he was a pretty smart king. Well, as it turns out, of course, Saul was there and got angry, and the Spirit of God came on him and had a great victory. Well, come to our website, BibleTelling.org. You can just about find anything about Bible telling is right there. It'd be a good thing every now and then just to go and check it out, to see what else we have. We have notices about upcoming meetings. We have about the free downloadables that we have. You can see about BT Stories. All of that is on BibleTelling.org. But come back next week when we continue on with these stories about King Saul on Bible Telling, Story of the Week. We'll see you next week.